So I'm at the new place, still in here cleaning, still in here getting things set, getting things done. Um, we still got a whole lot to move. Hopefully tomorrow will be my bed. We'll be getting the bed set up in my room, and then get this air conditioning fixed. But pardon how I look. I look a mess. But I will not be looking like this afternoon. Make sure y'all tune in at 4 for my interview with Shurik O'Quinn. Make sure y'all tune in for that. I'm super excited. I love it. You guys are getting a sneak peek. It's happening so fast. Yeah. And then we got to get our utilities and everything, all that. But let's talk about yesterday. Is it the FIFA World Cup or I don't pay attention to it, but I know that this motherfucker, everywhere you go, you're going to get that same energy everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. It's not going to be pleasant for you. But let's get into some of the shit that he's done so far, or what the fuck is going on. Well, he's preparing for ground invasion because Iran is not playing with him. Iran is not playing with him at all. And he just keeps antagonizing. You're going to war for Israel because you and Bibi Netanyahu are connected. I've warned people, I've told people, to my pro-Palestine, pro-Gaza people, we kept saying that Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, Orange Piggy, both of them were connected. Did we or did we not say those things? And not only that, but let's talk about queer phobia for a second. Black Boy Max, basically being 3 straight men. Why are y'all so fixated on what the next person is doing and how they're expressing themselves? Until we fix the problem with homophobia and queerphobia and femphobia and transphobia, because Blueface, I mean, a bum will always continue to be a bum. And his mother is no different. You've learned that behavior, the queerphobia, from somewhere. It's been 5 mass SHOTINGS here in the United States of America, and I can guarantee you I know what Republicans' response will be. Thoughts and prayers. How about some common sense GUN reform? How about some common sense reform? Which is the same thing Bill Clinton was saying, which is the same thing everybody else is saying, common sense. Because under this regime, violence is going to increase. And you heard what Foghorn Leghorn, Tom Homan said as well, too. Tom Homan says, oh, it's going to be more. So they're letting you know that they can take your life from you. ICE. And there will be no accountability because the FBI and the DOJ, Todd Blanche and Kash Patel, who are supposed to be investigating and holding people accountable, they are there to serve their purpose for Donald Trump. Todd Blanche is Donald Trump's personal attorney. Whereas the DOJ is supposed to be for the people, not for just the president. But it lets us know that he serves his own purpose and why he's there, and that is to be loyal to Donald Trump. Let's see what else. Andrew Tate is arrested. Goody. And I can tell you what'll probably happen next. I see a Donald Trump pardon like in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because he pardoned 1,600 insurrectionists that went and stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And now he's revving up for a coup part 2. January 6th, part 2. Because why do you think he's moving the way he's moving and putting all of his ducks in a row? Republicans are running out of ideas. And when they run out of ideas, the only policy that they have is to cheat, is to steal, is to take it, is to beat people into submission. And I keep having this conversation with Deshaun over and over again. It's like beating a dead horse at this point. We know what the game plan is. Donald Trump just rigged the 2026 midterms, and Republicans have an advantage. And speaking of an advantage, Fetterman said that he's going to leave the Democratic Party. And I can tell you why. It's because the lack of the support of Israel. Our hard-earned tax-paying dollars should not go to Bibi Netanyahu. When we know that Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump are like this, they're connected. And I love what Zoran said, because he's slated to be visiting in New York. And if he sets one foot in New York, I can tell you what's going to happen. Zoran is going to have him arrested because he's a war criminal. The same way Bush is a war criminal. The same way Orange Piggy is a war criminal. And you can't argue with facts because you know good and goddamn well that I'm right. Blueface. Let's get to Blueface. Hypermasculinity, toxic masculinity is running amok. Hi, Becky. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome as you guys are just coming in. Wow. Blueface basically got up here. His girlfriend is pregnant. Naiva, I can't pronounce her name, Naiva. We'll just go with Naiva. And was like, you don't do nothing. Actually, it should be the other way around, Blueface. What is a pregnant woman supposed to do? Not to sound misogynistic, but you don't understand the plight of what women have to go through when they are carrying a child, when they are carrying a whole body inside of them. I was a big baby too. I'm gonna give y'all a little detail. I was 8 pounds, 8 ounces. I was a big baby. Now y'all see where all the baby fat done went. Let me turn around. Let me back up a little bit. See, the beauty of having your own space is that you can turn. Hey. But now y'all see where all the baby fat went. It went, I got a lot of hips. But like I was saying though, it's very misogynistic. It's very misogynistic. You don't do nothing. And let me check myself as a woman, as a trans woman, since I occupy the space of woman. And let me hurry, in a few minutes, I'm gonna have to leave and go shower and stuff. This is my little morning exercise, morning walk. I'll be doing the shows here in the new room once we get set up. Tomorrow, like I said, my bed should be coming. We're gonna go back and get my bed, still get a few things out of the house. But yeah, it's a few things that we have to get. But I want to talk about Blueface's comment. The comment of, oh, you're not doing anything. You're going off on your pregnant girlfriend, my guy. It should be the other way around. You're not doing anything. You can go out here and you can knock up as many women as you want to. But the woman is expected to do something. That's patriarchy. That's deeply rooted in patriarchy. Because you look at a woman as your possession, as your baby-making machine. Like, do something. How about you get up and do something, Blueface? And as a matter of fact, let me check your transphobia at the door. I saw the video of you and that beautiful waitress. And your friend was threatening violence. See, this is what we as trans women, we experience on a daily. Men approach us, and T.S. Madison said it brilliantly. I get the stares. Y'all just see me back up in my little short shorts. You're not going to see me walking by and you're not going to stare. Point blank, period. And those are facts. Those are big facts. There are trans attracted men out here. And we keep having this conversation time and fucking time again. At the end of the day, hip hop has always been homophobic and transphobic. Blueface, you and the Zeus network culture, trash. Sorry, if this is what you like, trash. And again, when I had my conversation with Case, there are some stars who went away from reality TV and said, let me find another side hustle. And that's exactly what it's about. Finding another side hustle. Fighting, cussing, disrespecting women. But Blueface, you call that woman a transformer. See, that's the fuck shit that I'm talking about. The transphobia, the transmisia. For you to call someone that name and then you refer to her as a man. Because when I looked at her, when people looked at her, and I can only imagine what the comments of Neighborhood Talk and the Shade Room will be like, oh, that's a man, you know, the hands, you know, I can tell from the Adam's apple, you know, the stature, this, that, and the third, and the other. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How about that? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Queerphobia and transphobia in the Black collective, you know, sometimes I just hate to wake up and be Black. I'm just going to be transparent and honest with you. I'd rather wake up in another ethnicity. Because, see, y'all are doing the same thing to people that are in marginalized groups that white people are doing to us, which is oppressing us, and they're stripping our goddamn rights away from us. So while y'all are so fixated on less than 1% of the population, these motherfuckers are rigging the 2026 midterms. Make a plan to vote. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And again, I keep having the same conversation with Deshaun, which is y'all are focused on the wrong thing. Your anger is misdirected. Your anger is misdirected. So while you're fixated on me and men being attracted to me or any other trans woman, some of y'all are out here also threatening violence as well too in the hetero community. Some of y'all. And that's exactly what Blueface's homeboy, friend, sidekick, hype man, whoever the fuck he is, did in that video with that lady. That's the first thing they resort to is violence. And it's hyper-masculinity. Andrew Tate is no different than Blueface. I wouldn't be surprised if Blueface has some skeletons in his closet. Not to say that he does. I mean, to me, he's a misogynist. He's transphobic. He's queerphobic. Just like any other typical hetero Black man who has that same ideology and thinks just like him. Charleston White is no different. Blueface is no different. Lil Duval, who sat up on the Breakfast Club and said basically if he found out that a woman was trans, that he would take her life from her. When trans violence against African-American trans women is at an increasingly alarmingly high rate, and the FBI, the DOJ, they're trying to cover up the stats, they're trying to protect, you know, people who have been unalived, Black people by police. They're trying to cover up crimes that have been against people who walk in their truth, their identity, like myself, trans people. They're trying to cover that up. They're trying to scrub it and make it go away. And they're trying to highlight white people's plight when we know that white people can go home safely. That's not the case when you got ICE involved. Because look at Alex Peretti, Renee Nicole Good, they were white people. And this regime doesn't care if you're white, Black, straight, gay, whatever. And I say that to highlight the picture here. The bigger picture is patriarchy, queerphobia, transphobia, white supremacy is a virus that has plagued America. And speaking of plaguing, Fetterman, you're saying you're going to leave the Democratic Party? He threatened to leave the Democratic Party? Go ahead and leave because you have never been a Democrat. You and Bill Maher, and I hate to say it, even though this is y'all's fave, Charlemagne the God, who's another one, Mark Lamont Hill, y'all are the ones that have been very critical of the people who have not started an insurrection on January 6th. 1 minute y'all will call Donald Trump out, and then the next, y'all will go and y'all will attack Kamala, y'all will attack the entire group of Democrats, when it's just a few bad apples in the bunch. There are some out here who are on the front lines, like Ayanna Pressley, Jasmine Crockett, who we shouldn't be saying anything bad about. These are Black women who are leading And they're putting themselves on the line. Why is it that when Black trans women and Black biological women put our lives on the line, y'all don't do the same for us? Y'all attack us. That's what you do. And you not only do it to these prominent women that I've named, Jasmine Crockett, Ayanna Pressley, Kamala Harris, you do it to Black trans women as well too. Y'all have now put a moniker on T.S. Madison by saying that she hates Black women. That's not true. That's not true. I don't know her. I've never met her, but I would love to have Madison on my show. She's been an inspiration to me, and she's been a catalyst for why I started Style by Stevie, because she inspired me to speak out and have a voice. And being in an ultra red state in the deep south of South Carolina, where I showed y'all the courthouse and the old police station covered with nothing but Confederate flags. The Confederacy runs deep down here in the Carolinas where I'm at. I'm in the deep south. And the prejudice is hidden under the surface. So white people, some of them, they'll smile in your face and then they'll take their asses to that voting booth with their Trump 2024 flags in their front yard of their farms. Because trust me, I saw that. Those flags are not there anymore. Those campaign posters and stuff in their yards, yeah, they're not there anymore. Also, I want to talk to women who are male-centered. Angela Rye, who I love that she's been out here fighting for Black people, but now I see the pattern. It is as far as it pertains to Andrew Gillum, male-centered. You cannot be male-centered, and I choose not to be male-centered. I uplift Black men. I love Black men, yes. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm going to continue to keep calling out the ones like the 3 Black men that were out here harassing another Black man about him expressing himself, when Black men should be open and vulnerable and free to do it. But you know what? White supremacy and slavery has taught Black people to keep their emotions and their freedom of expression suppressed, especially Black men. Yeah, Black women, we know how to be, we carry the weight of the world on our backs. We are sensitive, gentle creatures, loving, emotional creatures, and we were taught to nurture, and we break down and cry when need be. But our Black men, it's a male loneliness epidemic. They have been taught that you have to be hyper masculine, you have to have machismo, you are the head of the household, you are the alpha dog. No, you're a little boy stuck in a grown man's body. That's what you are. Especially Blueface. You don't act like a man. You go out here and you knock women up. And then you dog them out. It was a back and forth thing with him and Krishan. And after a certain period of time, it got tired watching this toxic relationship play out, because both of y'all are toxic. Especially you. You're a womanizer. You are a misogynist. You are a transphobe. You are a homophobe. And until we start calling out the people within our community that we consider our faves, we will be stuck here another 400 years. And white people will continue to climb the corporate ladder and elevate, and white supremacy and oligarchy. Like Joe Biden warned before he left office, he said an oligarch is taking shape in America, and people chose to avoid that. They chose to ignore it. So I say that to say this. Channel that anger into something else, Black men. Not all Black men, but the ones like Blueface that are toxic, that are hyper masculine, that have to showcase their machismo. And this is exactly what Funky Dineva was saying. And I hope you all, because it caused a divide, a gender debate. Like, Black women were siding with, the men who were against Funky Dineva. Like, Funky Dineva is advocating not only just for queer people, but for you as well, too. And if some of y'all will turn around and support these men who are also wanting to have control and oppress you and your voice as well, too. There are some men who think the way Donald Trump thinks, who think the way Andrew Tate thinks, who thinks the way Kevin Samuels thinks. And it's not cool. Stockholm Syndrome, the tradition needs to be broken. Because until then, we will remain right here where we're at, which is black and divided. And the reason why is because white supremacy is winning. That's why. So Blueface, what you did with that young lady, trash. Calling her a transformer, calling her a man. And you know what this made me think about? It made me think about the young trans woman that was in New York. When she was going and she accidentally bumped someone, it was Iana Dior. And everybody just sat by and got their phones out and videotaped and recorded as people in a mob attacked this woman. She survived. But most trans women don't make it out. Because soon as you find out that they're trans or we're trans, what you do is you put us in jeopardy and danger. So until we fix the deep-rooted issue of patriarchy, trans misogynoir, because it is misogynoir, for you to basically say, oh, you know, this don't look like a woman. I didn't know trans was supposed to have a certain look. Just like black people, I didn't know we were all supposed to have look the damn same. No, we're not a monolith. And you have no right to dictate how a person chooses to identify in their gender or identity or spirituality, however they choose to. You have no right. You're not allowed, as T.S. Madison would say. You're not allowed. The heat, I know, is picking up for damn sure. So I'm about to go back to the old house in a minute. I have to go and call and see if we can get the AC fixed. It's running good in here so far. Oh, I just love the new house. I can't wait to get out. I know for me, it's going to be a process. Some stuff is just going to have to stay at my old house. I can't bring it in here because I don't want to overcrowd this house. Get it, grab it, go. But I wanted to come on here and talk about Blueface's ignorance and the ignorance of these straight men, straight white mediocre men who are so-called Christians. No, you're Christians, all right. You're Christian nationalists and you're Pharisees. That's what you are. So until we deal with that deep-rooted issue of queerphobia, transphobia, femphobia, the same way y'all did with Playboy Max, asking him why he chose to wear wigs, why he chose to express himself. Listen, you wouldn't say the same thing to this living legend if he was still here. If this icon was still here, and that's Prince. Prince expressed himself through fashion and through music. And guess who loved it at the end of the day? Biological straight women. Prince was fine. Prince did it. Duran Bernard is another. Duran Bernard is like a living reincarnation of Prince. And he is another who chooses to express himself with fashion. Not all black men are a monolith. So to the three niggas, because if you ignorant as fuck, you a nigga. And that's the same thing white people will say to us. They don't care about your job position. They don't care about your college degrees. They don't care about none of that shit. You a nigga to them. Playboy Max is a real one for advocating for the queer community. And we need more black men to show up like him, to show up like Eric Benet, to show up like Rev Kev. What is his name? Oh, Kev on Stage is another example of what allyship looks like. And the internet, especially the black community, more importantly, are beating him up for being an ally. Christian A. Smith is another example as well, too. A black man who is confident, if you are confident in your sexuality and who you are and your identity, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. But I'm not talking about Playboy Max. He did nothing wrong. I'm talking about the three niggas that decided to get up here and ask him, like, why you do that? Why you do that? Why are you, let me ask you a question. Why did you choose to be straight? Why do you like women? Exactly my point. So don't question me about fucking expressing myself. Tay Diggs is another black man who chose, I mean, he dressed up as Madonna for Pete's sake. But this is a man who is Wayne Brady, who is Pan. These are black men who choose to identify however they want to, who choose to be confident with who they are in their style. So let Playboy Max wear his wigs. He looks good. Let him express himself. And I think, you know what, if a lot more black men get in touch with their feminine side, we wouldn't have a male loneliness epidemic. Because it's running amok, and we're seeing it through Elon Musk. We're seeing it through the Joe Rogans. We're seeing it through the Andrew Tates. We're seeing it through the Jake Langs. By the way, Jake Lang, I hope Drewski comes back and roasts the everlasting dog shit out of you. You have been a thorn in the side of black people's ass. If you're not showing up at the BET Awards, you're showing up at the protest to antagonize us. See, Donald Trump has enabled a group of mediocre young white men who listen to every goddamn thing that he's saying. And as a black trans woman, I'm here to tell you that my black brothers and my black sisters, we will get together and we will beat your ass. We don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. Donald Trump will not save you from 400 years of oppression and you out here in blackface. That's not a threat, that's a promise. And you can take it how you want to take it. You already done got your ass beat coming up outside of the Black Culture event, the BET Awards. And then you ran over there to ICE the first time so they can protect you. And by the way, we have black ICE agents out here working with the Slave Patrol because that's what ICE is. ICE is Slave Patrol. A mess. But see, they've been doing blackface for the longest. They've been doing that for a very long time. And to the unfuck America, white libs are part of the problem. Y'all are. Mm-hmm. Yep. You got Bill Maher out here who's a millionaire saying maybe we need to get rid of some communism. I believe the word you're looking for is socialism. Socialism means the people. That's what Zoran is doing in New York. He's doing what he's supposed to do, which is a leader is supposed to lead and help the people. The rent freeze, I think that is dynamic. He is out there, boots on the ground, working with the people. Donald Trump is out here getting booed at the FIFA World Cup. I don't pay attention to that she shit. The FIFA World Cup, the foo-foo, I don't give a fuck. But what I do care about is this man is destroying this country. It's been, 16 months in, and he's already fucking everything up? Because he can't get his Pass the Save America Act, which would suppress my vote and my black people's vote, and not just our vote, but a woman's vote. So see, I occupy that space of black and woman and trans and LGBT. So I hit all of the check marks that they are trying to erase and scrub away from the military, because according to Cage Breath, let him tell it, we're going to get some testosterone in here. Not realizing that that is gender affirming care. You idiot, you fucking imbecile. You drunkard, you alcoholic abuser. That's what you are. And you're leading our military. You're leading them all right. You're leading them straight to the goddamn drain. You're going to lead our troops to get their lives taken from them. Keep fucking with Iran, because they've given us several warnings. I don't want to be walking down the goddamn street and McDonald's is right around the corner. I don't eat there anymore because they support on his orange ass too. If Joe Biden was in office, no, I'm not going to use that example. Let's scratch that. If I'm walking around to the store to get some coffee and drones come swooping up anywhere, let's not forget Iran has their nuclear, by the way. Two of our soldiers lost their lives, a total of 18 together, excuse me. And this is all because of Donald Trump's connection to Bibi Netanyahu. You're fighting Israel's war, and you're going to get our troops losing their lives because you're connected to Bibi. You and Bibi have been on the phone conversating and whispering sweet little nothings in each other's ears. And again, you can't argue with facts because y'all know every goddamn thing I'm saying. You can go back and fact check and prove it yourself. I don't buy allegedly or maybe. No, I'm going to give you the hard, real truth. That's what I do here at Style by Stevie Daytime. How you doing? Let me see what time it is. And with that being said, Fashion Dolls, I am going to be busy today. I have to make sure that we get somebody to come out here and work on this AC. My brother has the cable people coming in. I'm just loving a new space. And I can't wait till we get it set up. Hopefully I'm able to do a couple shows. If not, then we will be doing some shows where we're currently at right now. But I wanted y'all to have that food for thought right there. Deal with the queer phobia. Because if you don't deal with the queer phobia, it's going to overtake a nation. Patriarchy is an issue as well, too. So until you deal with that, we're going to be stuck right here where we're at. Still got a few more things to move into the home. But I will catch up with y'all this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to try to squeeze me a spot at the old house to do a show with Sherrick O'Quinn. And I will see y'all then. Until then, Fashion Dolls, catch the replay, share, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure that all of your notifications are on. I've seen a couple people coming in and out of the bushes, but it's all right. Y'all scared, y'all intimidated, and not only that, but y'all know that I'm speaking truth to power. Till next time.